Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Prep Talk. This is the last football game of the year. Can you believe that? You know, back in August, all the naysayers were saying no way. If Prep got to the playoffs in the second round, it'd be something. And if they got past that, they'd have to play Hartfield. It's all of that has now come to fruition. And of course, last Friday night, the Patriots put MRA away in a classic game. They always are. But some big performances from some kids last week on the football field. And when the dust settled, it was 28-25 Jackson Prep. And they now get to take on Hartfield from down the road at Mississippi College at 6 o'clock for the kickoff, but go back an hour. And it is the pregame show on JacksonPrep.live. Go back an hour from that, and it is the highlights of this year. It's a big afternoon of an evening of prep football, and you don't want to miss it. Now, coming up on tonight's show, we're still going to be talking football as Catherine and Claire are going to be talking to the coaches about the end of the season. They always talk to the players and get their views. Really interesting to get the coaches' look at the end of the season. And of course, we're going to be talking basketball. The girls won last night. In fact, the boys and the girls won last night. Big night over Capaya. And we'll have reports from Noble Wilkinson and Evelyn Waterloo and also Taylor Caton and Mary Lampton Walker all about basketball. So got a big show for you tonight. We hope that you stick around for it. And a big thanks to these kids because they got a lot going on in their life right now. And to come in and put these stories together and edit them down in Bobby's class and get them ready for what you're about to see. Tip of the hat to these kids for doing the great job that they do. So without further ado, we'll take a time out. Prep Talk continues in a moment.
There are all kinds of letters we need to remember, like ABC, ESPN. But here are some letters you need to remember as well. GAF. That is the best roofing products on the market today, and that's why David Wilbanks and Elite Roofing use GAF. When you deal with Elite Roofing, you know you're receiving the best product, best installation, and best warranty in the market. Call Elite Roofing at 601-856-9426. So when it comes to your roof, you are the letters
Southern Ag Credit has been financing life outside the city limits for over a century. Whether it's helping families own land they can grow with, or farmers manage the land they grow on, Southern Ag Credit specializes in financing life outdoors. Let us finance your rural dream. Visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Jennifer Mooneyham and the staff at For the Family Healthcare provide personalized healthcare for all ages in a comfortable environment. With a new address at 112 Lake Vista Place in Brandon near Community Place Retirement Home, it is convenient to residents in both Madison and Rankin counties. Health services include anything from wellness checks to the treatment of acute and chronic illnesses. Visit For the Family Healthcare for all of your healthcare needs. For the Family Healthcare, 112 Lake Vista Place, Brandon, Mississippi.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. We're joined by Graham Eklund, who is in the defensive backfield for coaching for Jackson Prep. And Graham, my goodness, here we are, last game of the season. Back when I talked to you last, we were hoping to get past MRA. We did. Let's talk about that game for a minute. It's a game that went back and forth, and still with a minute to go is anybody's ball game.
That's right. And we knew that going into this game. Anytime you've got these two teams that are playing each other with the history that they've had and the tradition, they're always going to be ready to play each other, and they're always going to play with a little chip on their shoulder. And so we knew that, and we told them all week during practice, how you prepare is going to carry you when it gets down to that crunch time late in the fourth quarter. The team that usually had the best week of preparation and has the better mindset in that moment will win that fourth quarter, and we saw that.
How many times have we seen a season come down to one play, 4th and 2, we're driving, they get the ball back, I'd say there's a possibility they score because they did the last time. Totally. All right, so the whole season is on the line here, and I'm just saying to myself, Coach Goodwin, is a master at this, and he's going to call something they're not ready for. So when we came out in the power set, I'm going, oh, I don't know if I'd run the ball for 2 yards. And then all of a sudden, and Cole sold that so well, comes around the end, 16 yards, game over. What was going through your mind when you're sitting there looking at a 4th and 2 going, we've been here before?
Definitely. Well, of course, nerves. Of course, you're sitting there on edge saying, oh, goodness gracious, I hope we just get 2 yards right here. And if you remember on 3rd down, I think we tried to throw it and they sniffed it out and got us a little bit behind, but we ended up calling that play. That was a fantastic play call from Coach Goodwin and our offensive staff, putting some trust into Billy and some trust into Cole to go out there and gain 2 yards, which was a point of emphasis, especially after the last time we played them dudes, because we had a similar situation on that same end of the field where it was 4th and 1, and we get that, we win the game. And so you can tell that had been a point of emphasis in our preparation for that game is, when you got a yard to gain to go win that game, you got to do it. And if we're calling a play to get that done, you figure out your job, do your job, and let's get this first down.
Yeah, if you're Coach Goodwin, it's another night at the office for him. He just takes it in stride. But, I think a lot of it, Graham, and being a defensive coach, you could understand this. They had loaded the right side because we put receivers over there. And so on the short side, all they had was a linebacker, and he bought Cole's fake.
Exactly. And that's something you've got to do, especially this late into the season, is you get a pretty good body of film of your opponent, and you can pick out little things, little cues that they have and how they're reading their keys in order to get an advantage and in order to get an edge. And again, with all the preparation our coaches do, we meet up here on Sundays and meet from about 1:30 to 8 o'clock most weeks, and especially late into the season. Wow. And so that's where that kind of thing is picked up and talked about and schemed out and figured out, before we even get to Monday's practice. There are little things that we've decided and put into our script and our scheme.
Things you think you can do, some things you'd better stay away from.
Exactly, or as early as Sunday afternoon.
Well, you've had a lot to think about this week. Going back to the MRA game, and all right, I'm going to ask the question that everybody. They said, "Do you ever see Graham?" I said, "Well, I interview him every once in a while." And they said, "Well, if you see him, ask him this." There are 2 schools of thought when you have a receiver going down the field and a defensive man right here, okay? One school of thought, which I came through and had to spend a whole day with my head turned around for the coach one day because I didn't, was you turn back to see where the ball is to put you in position, all right? The other school of thought is you're running with the guy and you're step for step, which our guys mostly were, and you read his eyes as to where the ball is. The problem is you're going to get flagged a lot of times if you're looking at the eyes just bumping.
Right.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, it's not as easy as a cookie cutter, one or the other. There's a bunch of different things and there's a nuance to playing defensive back. And the first thing I would say is it depends if you're playing man or zone. If you're playing man, usually we want to be in that position you're talking about and get on top of that route, and then we'll go look back and find the ball, or at least get to what we call in phase with that receiver,
right,
running step for step.
Right.
Obviously, if we're in a man-to-man situation and trailing, our coaching and what I've been coached at in college is to trail that hip. And once you catch up, sure, let's go find the ball. But if I'm beat by a step even or 2 steps, quarterbacks are really good in this league. And especially the 2 that we have played, one last week and we're about to play this week. And they're able to get that ball where it needs to be, over that receiver's shoulder, out of position for us to go make a play on it. So that's in man coverage. If you're in zone coverage, we would love to be on top of that route. And then what I coach and what I tell my guys is we in zone coverage want to be able to look through our receiver to the ball.
Okay.
And if there's ever a time that, we find ourselves underneath the route in zone coverage, we're wrong in the first place. You've gotten beat over the top. And it depends on how far in front of me is that guy. If he's a step in front of me, of course, let's get right here, find that ball, and go make a play on it. But if he's a step or 2, or even, where it's iffy, You run into trouble when you're 2 steps behind a guy trying to do that, because you'll either the athletes that we're playing with in high school, MAIS football, most can do it, but it is really hard, Russ, to run in out of phase with the receiver, go up, find that ball, and still stay on your track and still stay running full speed.
You got so many good quarterbacks.
Exactly. You got so many good quarterbacks, and half the time, when you go looking like this to find the ball, you can lean and get out of position left or right because you don't know where your aiming point is. So that's what we teach. Our aiming point's the hip. And once we track and find the hip, then it's time to go find the ball and get it out of the air.
Well, you got Prep's blessed to have 2 of the best cover corners in the league, in Michael Stallworth and Major Quinn. And then you got a couple of safeties back there. I was teasing Matthew Lassiter the other day. I said, Matthew, it seems like to me you start with their head and work your way down to the legs, because I saw that official wanting to pull the flag a couple times, and you got Murley back last week. He made a big difference in the ball game. So defensively back there, I like our chances. But then this week, you've got 2 running backs that are probably the best 1-2 punch in the MAIS pound for pound. Pound being the operative word here.
Right.
In Chris Jones and Jeselowski. Mm-hmm. You've got a quarterback that gets the ball into the hands of the playmaker, but he has to have time to do that.
Right.
So does that come up this week, limiting that time he has to do that?
100%. And that's, that was a point of emphasis for us last week. Not letting them get back there, MRA specifically, and play 7-on-7, because they're really good when they get to do that.
Yes.
And the shift in our focus this week has kind of turned on those 3 guys that you mentioned. Anytime that they're going to have 5 and 11 back there in that backfield, we need to know, as a D-line and a linebacker core, one, who's got that guy if he goes out on a pass.
Okay.
Because there are plenty of times, and you go look the last game we played them, that's one play that hurts.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly, and that's a play they love to run. They do it in every game that they play. When it comes to running the ball, you got to make sure that you've got, if you're in a 3 front or a 4 front, you got to make sure that those guys are getting to their aiming point. That's a really big thing. It's something we did not do very well last time. It allowed for a lot of running yards for them. When you got guys up front who are outweighed in some spots, which we are, and we know that, being technically sound and making sure you have gap integrity is the most important thing. And then once you do that, it frees those linebackers up to read their gaps and make a play.
So what's better, a 4 front against these guys or a 3?
Well, you'll see both. You'll see both on Saturday, and it's one of those things that there's really not a one or the other answer to that. It's dependent on down and distance. It's dependent on who they've got personnel-wise on the field. And so if they're going to want to run the ball, of course, you'd rather have an extra down lineman. But it's going to be something that helps us situationally.
All right, so that being said, it was 17-14 at the half when we played them over here. What happened in that second half? Did they just come out and physically take it to us?
I'll say this. I think it was a mixture of they kind of felt, we're all up in this game, and so we're going to continue and maybe even build on some of that momentum that they had going into half. And I'll tell you this, too. Looking back at our stats and some of the things that we've done throughout the end of our season, our team is still figuring out how to be a 4-quarter football team. And I think I said this to you maybe the first time I was here. But it's been the case, and you go and look, most of the points that teams scored against us have been right there in that 4th quarter. And for whatever reason, we haven't scored enough to match it. And so I will tell you that last Friday was the closest that we have been to being a complete 4-quarter ball game and putting it together in all phases of the game, kicking, offense, and defense. So, obviously we have gained our in confidence. We've made great strides in that, and so I couldn't tell you the reason for that. I do think that we have made improvements in that aspect.
Well, of course, they come in 10-0, and we come in 10-3, I think. And I tend to think that our schedule has been a little tougher. and that may show up on Saturday. But the bottom line is you're going to have to stop two individuals in particular, and the ones that you were talking about. And then we're going to have the fans get behind it. And we can't make any mistakes Saturday.
That's right. That's right. You when you're playing in November and when you're playing this late in the season, and obviously for a state championship like we are, cutting down on the mental errors is the key. Cutting down on the mental errors and then being the team that makes the most plays, makes a big pick, forces a fumble, has an explosive run or an explosive throw. Those are the things that decide these games, and it really usually boils down to about 5 plays.
Yeah, it does. It sure did last Friday. It's always been fun to interview as a player and also now as a coach here at Prep. You do a great job, Graham, and we appreciate you coming by.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
We'll take a timeout and be back with more in a moment.
The Rogue includes an in-store support of clothing, sportswear, and furnishings. They also provide made-to-measure services for suits, sport coats, pants, and shirting. They have 3 in-house tailors to provide any alterations suitable for your clothing needs.
The Rogue has been dressing men and families in Jackson for over 50 years. Owned by a Prep graduate, the Rogue supports Jackson Prep. Come by today and see the latest trends.
Located at 4450 I-55 North, Jackson, or visit our website at therogue.com.
Part of the enjoyment for me is interacting with patients.
I feel like we form a close bond with the patient as they're going through their ailment, their surgery, and their recovery.
As well as the new building, we now have our own physical therapy and our own surgery center.
I think sometimes you take for granted how vulnerable patients are. Enormous amount of trust they're putting in us to do the right thing.
You want the people you're operating on to trust you, you want to become friends with them, and you want them to have a good outcome.
Here at Capital Ortho, we look forward to seeing you and treating you.
Since 1968, Ewing & Ray has been leading the way as the area's premier foundation repair company. With our state-of-the-art equipment, licensed professional engineers, and certified technicians, we are able to ensure the right solution with the best warranty in the business. Whether you have drainage problems, need foundation repair, or need a specialized foundation system installed, for over 50 years, Ewing & Ray is a trusted source to ensure your home or business is safe and stable for years to come. Contact us today by visiting our website or giving us a call.
Well, we've already mentioned what a year it's been in football, and we wanted to talk to or have some of the kids talk to some of the football players, but a lot of the coaches as well. In fact, we'll be talking with some junior players and, of course, senior players. And then the coaches. What a call Coach Goodwin made the other night at MRA. 4th down and 2. The whole season is on the line, and he made the right call, and of course the rest is history. We're in the championship game Saturday night at Mississippi College. So Catherine and Claire put this piece together about the end of the season this year. Roll it, girls.
Hi, I'm Claire Crosby, and I'm here with Coach Goodwin, the head football coach here at Prep. And Coach Goodwin, this is your 2nd year here at Prep, and this is your 2nd state championship to go to. And after winning last year, how are you feeling going into this year's state championship?
Well, I don't think last year's championship has anything to do with this year's championship. I think that our guys are looking forward to the challenge. Hartfield's very talented, very well coached, but I think our guys are looking forward to it, and, I'm looking forward to watching our guys play.
Yes, and how do you think this season has gone so far, and how are you going to be preparing this coming week?
Well, the season's gone pretty well. We started out really well. We didn't know initially, we had 7 new starters on offense, 7 new starters on defense. All our specialists were new. So, we didn't really know how well we were going to do to start with, but we got off to a really good start. Hit some snags there in the middle part of the season and lost 3 close games, but proud of the way our guys have come back the last several weeks and played really hard and worked really hard in practice and have played well. So, so far, we're where we need to be, so we're pleased.
So how are y'all preparing this week, and is it any different than any other normal game that you've played this year?
No, we try to treat all our games the same. We try to prepare each day, each week. We do the same things on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we do have an extra week of practice this week, which is good because we got a lot of guys that have been sick, so hopefully they can get well. But, we try to treat each game the same, and we'll prepare for this game just like all the others, and because the same things that win all the other games are the same things that win this game. So, it's just like any other game for us.
Thank you, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
I'm here with Coach Burke, our linebacker coach. And Coach Burke, what have you been telling these linebackers this week as they're preparing for this big state championship game against Hartfield?
Hey, one thing our linebackers got to do is we got to tackle, and we got to bring the force with us and make those tackles hard. That's one of our big things. We didn't do that well in the last game, so this time it's going to be very important to get tackles, get our guys lined up. It's very important. But overall, we got to play just a lot better than we did last time, and it's the linebackers' responsibility to get this team ready.
Okay, so you've been at Prep for 21 years, and how many state championships have you gone to while you've been here at Prep?
I think this is going to be my 18th. I think there's only 3 times we haven't been to state championship since I've been here.
That's awesome. And how is this team different than all the other teams you've coached, and why do you have confidence going into this game?
Well, this team's a little bit different in the sense that, of course, every year is a little bit different, but this has got a very good senior class, a very good help of a junior class. They got some sophomores that help out with this. And normally you've had a team that is just loaded with seniors or upperclassmen in that thing. But with this one right here, we've done really well. We've got to the point where we want to be. You get to this last week of practice. Everybody wants to have this week, championship week. You get it all out, and then on Saturday, we just let it hang loose. We will be the underdog going into this. They haven't lost a game, but we've got one more game. We've been to this thing for a number of times. I think Prep has 26 state championships in football just alone, and so we've got the experience over there, and hopefully Saturday we'll be able to do it.
Thank you, Coach Burke, and good luck this week.
Thank
I'm
you
here
so
with Coach Butts, our tight ends coach. And Coach Butts, how have the tight ends this week been doing in practice, and how have you been preparing them for this game this week?
Well, it's pretty easy for me because we only have about 3 of them. So, they get a lot of reps in practice. And, of course, we'll come in and watch practice every day on film, make corrections, do the things that we got to do to make sure we know what we're doing, able to play fast on Friday or Saturday night.
Are you expecting Hartfield to do anything different on defense this week than they have the first time?
Yes, I expect them to play a lot more forefront than what they did against us in the first half of our first game earlier this year. And since you're asking me about tight ends, they're going to double team Peyton Puckett all night long.
Okay, and so how are you going to prepare Peyton for that and prepare the tight ends for the new defense?
Well, the big thing that we're going to do some of the time is have two tight ends in the ball game, and they won't cover the other one.
Thank you, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
You haven't had good chicken until you've had Super Chicks. Super Chicks is made with 0 preservatives, 0 phosphates, and 0 dyes. There are many sauce options and a fresh new frozen custard every week. Everything is made 100% cooked to order, so it's very fresh. There's also many fry options such as salt, rosemary pepper, sweet, and Cajun. And don't let me forget the loaded fries. Super Chicks is a great place for prep friends and family to connect after events. And it's
so good.
The Tire Depot, with locations on Old Fannin Road in Brandon and on Terry Road in Byram, they're your neighbors and they appreciate your business. More than just a tire store, they offer alignments, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, shocks, struts, leveling kits, and a whole lot more. They are family owned and operated. All of their techs have 20 years or more of experience. The Tire Depot, owned and operated by a Jackson Prep family.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
I'm here with Billy Puckett. And Billy Puckett is the starting quarterback here at Jackson Prep. He's a junior, and so we're excited about his future here and how he's playing. And so, Billy, what's one of your strategies going into the game?
Well, obviously win the game and just have a good week of practice, make sure everyone's ready to go, and just kind of throw Hartfield off during the game and kind of hit them with stuff they're not expecting, and just, have a great mindset going in the game just with the team and everyone be ready to play.
That's right. We're all ready to play, and we're excited to see you out there. Thank you, Billy. I'm here with
John Ed.
And John Ed's one of our starting tight ends here at Prep. He's a stud. He's a junior, so we're excited about his future and about what he's going to do for us in the state championship. And so, John Ed, what have you done differently to prepare for the game?
I've just been
practicing harder and just staying locked in for what's going to come on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. So, John Ed, we're really excited for your highlights and what you're going to do in the game. So, thank you. I'm here with
Turner Reese, Forward Foot Boy.
And Turner and Ford are just great juniors athletes here at Prep. Turner's an outside linebacker and Ford's a safety. So, they contribute a lot. So, Turner, what are we looking forward to doing this Saturday, stopping the run game especially?
We just got to make sure we get low and tackle. Regis Saucy is a really good running back. He's had really good games against every team in the MIS, but we're here to end that. We've got a few new blitzes and a few new sets to confuse them a little bit, the way they block, and they're pulling guards. So I think we'll be able to stop them pretty well.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're definitely going to need to stop that run game. And Ford, in the passing game especially, as a safety, what are we looking to stop?
Well, 1 and 2, both very good athletes, but our coach has got a few things up their sleeves, got a few new coverages, got dogs like Major Quinn and Micah back there. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thank you, Ford. Thank you. I'm here with
Cole Allen,
Robert Watson.
And Cole and Robert are two of our stud and star offensive linemen here at Prep. They're juniors as well. And so, heading into the state championship, what are some things we're doing differently and some blocking schemes we're doing differently offensively to help us out?
We've shortened our splits more, and then we're trying to get more double teams.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome.
So, yeah, we basically just kind of tightened it up on the inside so that way we can get some bigger holes open, and we're going to trust our H-backs to block some of the linebackers.
Yeah, that sounds good. Definitely going to have to trust them to get to the linebackers. I'm excited to run behind you big boys, and y'all can get some good blocks. Thank you. I'm here with
Stuart Grubbs, Blunt Blackledge.
And so Stuart is one of our star defensive linemen as a junior here on the varsity football team at Prep. Blunt's one of our star defensive backs. He comes in a lot. He helps out a lot, makes a lot of big plays. So, guys, how are we preparing differently for this huge game, the championship game? Great to be back in it for another year. Stuart, what have you done differently?
I've worked on getting pressure. I've worked on getting low, trying to listen to Coach Brewer and get pressure.
Right, yeah, I love that. Blunt, what have you done?
I've worked harder in practice. I've worked on my technique, my everything. So.
Yeah, so we're looking to see these guys on the defensive side of the ball this Saturday. Thank you. I'm here with Coach Rusty Burke, and Coach Burke, you're one of our star coaches here. You bring the energy.
Yeah,
so
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how are you preparing differently for the state championship?
Well, you know what? We really don't prepare anything differently. It is a game. It's a different day than normal, but, we go through the same routine. The players will go through the same routine, and we'll have one extra day. Mm-hmm. But the same routine. There's not going to be anything that's different. This is a ball game. They don't change anything. Time's not different. The way they play the game, the rules stay the same as they did through the whole year. It just happens to be on a bigger stage. But everything we do is going to be about the same.
That's right. It's going to be the same. So thank you, Coach Burke. Okay, so I'm here with Dr. Neely and Miss Scruggs, and these are the two faces of Jackson Prep. We love them, and so we're here with a couple questions on how they're excited and how much excitement is in the air for the state championship. Dr. Neely, what are your opinions?
Well, like most of the athletics, but everything, I get excited for you guys that this is what you work for and this is what you want to do. For me, over the many years I've been here, I've seen lots of games and we've won some and we've lost some. So emotionally, I don't get really tied up except wanting you guys to play your best and do your best and hopefully win because that's what you want.
That's right. We love that, and it's what we want. So, that's awesome. So, Ms. Scruggs, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm just thinking we have, we always taunt the fact or talk about the fact that we are students here before we're athletes. We have students and make great athletes out of them. And I think we've shown that we can do both well. And I'm excited for us that we've done well and that we've proved that we can do well on both fronts.
That's right. We really do put the student and student athlete, and that's what we talk about here at Prep, and that's what we love. So thank y'all.
This is for you, Major.
Hi, Chuck Smith here from Smith Brothers Body Shop. Smith Brothers has been proudly serving the Jackson metro area since 1946. We consider you to be our friend to ensure the best experience possible. If you've chosen a body shop in the past because they were right around the corner and had a bad experience or you've been treated poorly elsewhere, come see what a difference quality service can make at Smith Brothers Body Shop. Call us at 601-353-5217. At Smith Brothers, you're more than a number. Smith Brothers Body Shop, the best from us to you.
Visit your local Dunkin' at 403 Riverwind Drive in Pearl.
Discover the power of a radiant smile at Reservoir Smiles Dentistry, your ultimate destination for complete dental care. Dr. Amy Schamberger and her dedicated team specialize in a range of services to cater for all your dental needs. From essential general dentistry to transformative cosmetic dentistry, they've got you covered. They offer same-day crowns, teeth whitening treatments, Invisalign and Botox treatments, because a confident smile goes hand in hand with a radiant face. Your journey to a perfect smile begins at Reservoir Smiles.
Here are 4 of our senior football players. Y'all say y'all's name, number, and position.
My name is Lake, number 9, and I'm the running back.
Thomas, number 42, and I play defensive line.
Matthew, safety, number 7.
Luke, number 25, and I play linebacker.
Alan Rubik, number 56, O-line.
Blair Hurst, number 52, D-line.
Harrison Fulcher, number 17, linebacker.
Owen McCraney, number 88, wide receiver.
Matthew Murley, number 4, safety.
Andy Brown, number 28, defensive end.
Peyton Puckett, number 18, tight end.
Micah Stars, number 1, corner.
Hayden Frazier, 13, receiver.
So, how are y'all preparing differently than when y'all lost to Hartfield a couple weeks back?
Yeah, obviously we lost them in the regular season, but we're just focusing on doing the little things right, and we obviously didn't play well when we first played them, so we're just focusing on having a better attitude and mentality towards the game.
Gotcha. Are y'all sad about this being y'all's last game?
I would say yes.
But it's a good way to go out.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't want any other game to be my last game.
Sure.
Agreed. Okay, so how is it preparing for a state championship as a senior versus last year when y'all were juniors? Like, what's the feeling like?
So this year, it's kind of all our last time going through, so we got to give it everything we've got, and we know that we're not going to play football forever, and that's why we need to make this count.
I agree.
Likewise.
No, it sums it up perfectly. We got nothing else to do after this, so this is our last chance. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so how are y'all preparing for Saturday since y'all lost to them in the regular season?
We are, this week we're full pads, and got an extra day of practice since the game Saturday, so that'll help us prepare more.
I don't know, just watch some more film, just learn more stuff, and just changing some things up.
Good. So how is it different preparing for the state championship as a junior versus a senior?
I would say that it was a lot harder to get to this point than it was last year because we had to play 2 rounds of playoffs, and last year we had a first round bye.
And it's a little bit different going into this game as we're all seniors this year. So, you know that it's your last game, so you're going to give your best shot at it.
Yeah, definitely going off Luke's point, we're going to put everything we got into it and just see what happens.
Are y'all emotional?
Yeah, there's definitely emotion that plays into the game, but we got to keep our heads straight.
There's a lot of intensity.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do or die.
Well, good luck to y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miller.
Okay, so what are y'all's emotions towards this being y'all's last ever football game on Saturday?
I'd say I'm anxious to play, because it's a championship game, but also a little sad because it's going to be my last time stepping on the field.
I just want to win, Yeah, I just want to win.
I get it. Okay, if y'all could give one word describing your feelings towards your last ever high school football game, what would it be?
Patriotic.
Good.
Organized. Electric.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ready.
Final.
Important.
Emotional.
Immaculate.
Mixed dash emotion.
That's 2 words.
The dash,
Okay.
Probably relieving, honestly. I'd say that.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does it feel being a senior going to the state championship versus last year when y'all were 11th graders? Like, does it feel more important? Are y'all more excited? Like, what's the feeling like?
Doesn't feel any more different or anything. It's just like a lot of pressure to win because it is your last game.
I don't think difference this year is more of our team, so I want to have that title of just our senior class winning.
Feels like a lot more pressure because, like what Peyton said, it's our last game no matter what, and I think every senior wants to end off on a win in their career.
Are y'all sad about this being y'all's last game, or are y'all like more excited? What's the feeling like being a senior and knowing how much you've put forth this season?
It's sad, but at the same time, it's like it's been a long run.
Yeah, hoping we can end it on a good note.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's kind of, once we're done with this, kind of time to move on. It's been a great experience.
I agree.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Hello, I'm Jason Womack with Womack Auto Sales in downtown Brandon.
We've been here for 25 years serving the community, and we plan on being here for another 25 years.
Came to Womack in Brandon. I was looking for a Tahoe. Walked in and folks were good to me. Hey, look how I ended up leaving. New Tahoe.
Womack's Auto Sales helped me finance the truck of my dreams.
Come out and take a look at our new facility and meet our staff.
Take exit 56 to downtown Brandon. And remember, at Womack's, your job is your credit.
Malone is a company in motion, delivering award-winning roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. With the use of Suprema products like Alsan liquid flashings, Alsan coating products, and more, Malone continues to prove there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you.
Ferguson and Associates Architecture is a new generation architectural firm that combines state-of-the-art ideas and solutions with years of experience managing demanding projects. As a full-service architecture firm, Ferguson and Associates provides a complete range of architectural services. They plan, design, and manage the build. From creative concept to ribbon cutting, they're there to ensure your success. Visit their website at fergusonarchitecture.net for more information or contact them directly at 601-607-7933.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. You know, last week, if you joined us, we talked a lot about boys basketball and the things they've got coming up under the new Allison era, as I like to refer to it as. The boys are off to a good start. The girls are off to a good start. Both won last night. But we wanted to get in and find out some about these basketball girls. And Noble Wilkinson and Evelyn Waterloo are going to have a report along with Taylor Caton and Mary Lampton Walker. So we're going to cover basketball for you tonight because that's where we are. After Saturday night, it's full speed basketball and soccer. We'll try to get soccer in next week. So let's get rolling. Here's what's going on in basketball at Prep.
I'm here with Coach Mack today, the head coach of varsity girls basketball. And Coach Mack, how is the season going so far?
We've had a good start to the season. We're 5 games in, 3-2 on the year. We won our first 2 games over at the MRA tournament a couple weeks ago. And then this past week, played 2 really good teams, Monday and Tuesday, East Rankin on Monday and Florence High School on Tuesday. 2 good teams. We played well in both of those games, I felt like, but certain things that you just can't do against good teams. And so we lost both those games. We had a good bounce back game last Thursday, played the Muddy River Counselors, a local homeschool team. So, got 2 games this week. We go to Kapai Academy tomorrow as we film this on Monday, and then we go to Bio Academy on Friday. So 2 good teams, and, we're looking forward to the challenge.
What have practices looked like so far this year, getting back into the swing of things?
So practices have gone good, just because it's still football season. We've got 3 Pacers and 1 cheerleader on our team. So we're still sharing those athletes. So right now we're not to the mode yet that we can have everybody at the start of practice. So, that's not a new challenge for us. And also we've got girls that are involved in other activities. So, we feel like once we get through football season, which will obviously end this week with the state championship, we get into December and then really get into the bulk of our season in January, just our practices will have a little bit more cohesiveness. But we've had good practice. I've been really proud of our girls. our effort and our energy in practice has been at a high level, something we really demand of our players. So, we're just kind of in the mode right now that we just need more practice time together as we continue to kind of gel and work with different combinations and different lineups. And so we're looking forward to those times.
What are you most excited for this year?
Really, I'm just excited about the growth, to watch the growth and the progress of this team. We've got a relatively young team. We have 13 girls on our roster and only 2 seniors. So we've got a relatively young team. Of course, we've got a group of juniors that played a lot of minutes last year. We're starting 2 sophomores at the moment right now. So I'm just excited to see the growth of our team. And of course, we really look at November and December as kind of the preseason, if you will, to conference play in January. Those 10 games, those home and aways against JA and MRA and Hartfield and St. Joe and PCS. Those are the games that really matter. So I'm just looking forward to see how our team accepts our coaching, accepts our challenges, in practice every day, and just seeing, what kind of team we're going to be when conference play comes around, and then ultimately what kind of team we're going to be when it's playoff time in February.
I'm here with Coach K, the assistant coach of the high school girls basketball team. And Coach K, what is it like being an assistant coach?
I think it's a lot of work, but in a good way. A lot of what we do is we'll watch a lot of film, work on the scout, and hopefully give Coach Mack the information that he needs as we prepare for our opponents each week. And then in practice, it looks like, helping out with different drills, hopefully keeping the morale high between all the girls. So, I would say, we do a lot of different things and just kind of do whatever, Coach Mack needs us to do.
Rainey's Carpet Care is a locally owned and operated business that's been providing quality service to Central Mississippi since 1986. They offer 24-hour emergency water damage services, mold and mildew treatment, carpet care, pet odor removal, air duct cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, Oriental rug cleaning, carpet stretching and repair, upholstery cleaning. They offer it all. Visit them online at raineyscarpetcare.com or call today at 601-956-1515.
Slava's Grill, open weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And make sure to check out the lunch menu.
One hometown retailer for custom stamps, signs, and marketing products. We're growing and we want to take you, our loyal customers, with us. Whether you have an event, starting a new business, or wish to expand your existing business, Signmark is committed to helping you meet your design and marketing needs. Come see the friendly staff at Signmark at Pearson Road in Pearl and make your mark in the business world. Signmark online at signmark.us or by phone at 601-932-6699.
Sometimes opportunities begin where the road ends, where pavement fades to gravel and the sounds of the city scatter in the breeze. This is life outside the city limits, made possible by financing from Southern Ag Credit. From farmstead to homestead and everything in between. Apply for your rural loan today at southernagcredit.com.
16 speakers, 272 horsepower.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
Well, that's going to put a wrap on this Prep Talk. Want to remind you that we will not be having another Prep Talk until January the 17th. Of course, you got the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, and everybody's in and out. So we will pick it back up, and then we'll be in the thrust of both soccer and basketball at that time. So we'll crank her back up then. Also, programming note, Friday, the girls and boys basketball teams will be in Cleveland to play BioAcademy. The girls have already beaten BioAcademy this year, and so we'll see what happens there. But then on Saturday, once again, you're going to want to watch the highlights of this football season this year. There's a lot of them, and Bobby put it all together. He's got a great hour show coming up for you about prep football and how this season came down to where they are on Saturday night. Then the pregame show, where we'll hear from Coach Doug Goodwin. I may even ask him how he came about calling that play on 4th and 2. So you're going to want to stick around for that. And then we'll have, of course, all of the cheerleaders and the band and everybody that makes up Jackson Prep football on Saturday night. The game will kick off at 6 o'clock. It's at Mississippi College. And you don't want to miss it. It's one thing to watch it, and we hope and are glad that you do. And we're glad that we're able to provide that to you. It's another thing to be at the game. Liable to be cold, sun will be down, who knows, maybe even a little misty. But it's football, and it's played on a day like football was designed to be played on. And what a day for a championship. You know, a lot of people last year did not give Jackson Prep one iota of a chance to win that football game. They were wrong. Same people this year, we don't have a chance. Well, Saturday, we'll find out if they were wrong. That's going to wrap it up. Good night for Prep Talk.